Hey, warriors. The second they sense fear, they think they've already won. The moment they catch hesitation in your eyes, they step closer. Their voice gets louder. Their posture gets bigger. They lean in, stare longer, invade your space, and try to make your mind fold before your words ever form. Intimidation is rarely about truth. It's about pressure. It's theater. It's a performance designed to make you react before you think. Picture this scene. Someone is pushing hard. Their tone is sharp. Their presence feels heavy. Most people rush to defend themselves. They talk too fast. They explain too much. They try to prove their worth in the heat of the moment. And that's exactly where they lose control. Because intimidation feeds on reaction. It survives on emotional movement. The more you flinch, the stronger it grows. The more you rush, the more power you hand over. But what if you could stand still instead? What if, in the exact moment they expect you to shrink, you become steady? No raised voice, no nervous smile, no defensive rambling, just calm eyes and grounded silence. Suddenly the script breaks. Their rhythm collapses. Their pressure has nowhere to land. And the balance of power quietly flips without you ever throwing a punch or raising your volume. Intimidation isn't strength. Real strength doesn't need to crowd your space or crush your voice. Intimidation is usually a strategy used when someone wants control fast. It's a shortcut move. A psychological shove meant to rush your decision-making and weaken your posture. Most people fall into this trap without even realizing they're inside it. They think they're defending themselves, but they're actually stepping into the other person's frame. Today, you're going to learn how to step out of that frame completely. I'm going to walk you through 7 Machiavellian psychological tactics that shift the ground under anyone who tries to overpower you. These are not about yelling louder or acting tougher. They're about control, timing, and mental positioning, silent dominance, composed pressure, strategic calm. When you use these correctly, the person trying to intimidate you starts to feel uncertain instead. This is not about becoming cold or cruel. It's about becoming unshakable. There is a difference. You don't need to attack. You don't need to threaten. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to stop playing their game and make them stand in yours. By the end of this, anyone who tries to push you around will feel like they've run into a wall they cannot move. Before we begin, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. Calm beats pressure. Number 1, freeze the stage. Every intimidation attempt is a performance. There is always a hidden stage, an invisible spotlight, and an expected reaction from you. The aggressor is not just speaking to communicate. They are acting to provoke movement. They want a visible shift, a defensive reply, a nervous laugh, a quick denial, a rushed counterattack. That response is their reward. It tells them the pressure is working. The moment you understand that intimidation is theater, you stop being the audience and start becoming the empty room. When pressure comes at you, your first instinct is usually speed. Faster speech, faster thinking, faster emotion. Your body wants to close the tension gap as quickly as possible. That instinct is natural, and it is exactly what gives the other side leverage. Freezing the stage means you deliberately break that tempo. You do not rush to answer. You do not hurry to defend your position. You let the moment hang in the air longer than feels comfortable. Silence becomes your first move, not your last. Hold your posture steady. Keep your shoulders level. Let your breathing slow down instead of speed up. Keep your eyes focused but not hostile. You are not challenging. You are unmoved. This stillness sends a signal that is stronger than any clever sentence. It says, Your pressure did not land. Most people have never been trained to handle calm resistance. They are prepared for argument, not composure. When their emotional push meets a motionless wall, their certainty starts to wobble. There is a powerful psychological effect that happens here. When someone tries to dominate through forceful presence and receives no immediate feedback, self-awareness turns inward. They begin monitoring themselves. Their mind shifts from attacking to checking. Am I going too far? Do I look foolish? Why aren't they reacting? That internal questioning drains their momentum. Energy that was aimed at you now loops back into them. Your face matters here more than your words. Avoid dramatic expressions. No smirking, no eye-rolling, no exaggerated seriousness. Neutral is stronger than theatrical confidence. Think of a judge listening in a courtroom, attentive, unreadable, grounded. Let them speak into that neutrality. The longer they continue without emotional payoff, the more exposed they feel. Performers without applause become uncomfortable very quickly. Another key element is micro-movement control. Do not fidget with your hands. Do not adjust your clothes repeatedly. Do not shift your feet back and forth. Small, restless gestures signal internal disturbance. Stillness communicates inner authority. Even if you feel tension inside, reduce visible motion outside. Power is often judged by surface control, not inner sensation. Many people worry that pausing will make them look weak or unprepared. The opposite is true. Leaders pause. Negotiators pause. High-status communicators pause. Quick replies are common. Measured responses are rare, and rarity creates perceived strength. When you finally speak after a deliberate gap, your words land heavier because the space before them built weight. Remember this line and make it part of your mental reflex. If you don't react, their performance dies. You are not ignoring reality. You are removing their stage lighting. Without reaction, intimidation has nothing to feed on. The encounter shifts from emotional combat to psychological imbalance. In your favor. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Stillness is power. Number 2, make them reveal. Pressure works best when it stays vague, forceful, and one-directional. The intimidator throws statements like punches, sharp, loud, and forward, hoping you stay busy blocking instead of examining. Your counter is not louder resistance. Your counter is precision inquiry. You turn the spotlight around and make them unpack their own words. When someone is forced to clarify, justify, and specify, their emotional advantage begins to leak away. Most dominance attempts rely on broad claims and loaded phrases. You always mess this up. Everyone knows you can't handle this. This is a terrible decision. These lines feel heavy because they sound final, but they are often built on air. The moment you calmly ask for definition, the weight drops. Ask in a steady voice, what exactly do you mean by that? Which part specifically? Based on what evidence? Walk me through your reasoning. Each question is like turning on another light in a dark room. Shadows stop looking frightening when fully lit. The key is tone. Your delivery must be even, grounded, almost curious. Not sarcastic, not challenging. Clean curiosity disarms faster than confrontation. When your question sounds genuinely investigative rather than defensive, the other person cannot easily accuse you of being combative. You are not fighting, you are examining. That shift forces them out of attack mode and into explanation mode. Explanation is slower, cognitively heavier, and emotionally weaker than accusation. There is a psychological law at work here. The person doing the explaining is spending status energy. When they must keep supplying reasons, details, and logic, they are working harder than you. Cognitive load rises. Verbal stumbles increase. Emotional momentum fades. Meanwhile, you remain composed, asking short, surgical questions. You are steering without pushing. Use narrowing questions rather than open, wandering ones. Start broad, then tighten. What exactly is the problem you see? Which outcome concerns you most? Where did you get that information? What would you prefer instead? Each layer reduces exaggeration and exposes assumptions. Many intimidation tactics depend on emotional exaggeration. Specificity dissolves exaggeration. Another advantage appears. Contradictions surface. When someone speaks aggressively, they rarely maintain internal consistency. As they elaborate, gaps appear between their earlier claim and their later reasoning. Do not jump on those gaps immediately. Let them keep talking. Silence after their answer often pulls out even more detail. People rush to fill quiet space and often reveal more than they intended. Your body language should remain receptive but firm. Slight head tilt, steady eye contact, minimal